let's go ahead and let's go straight to Luna and get with her question.
Hello.
Hello.
Stop it.
What is wrong with that? I mean, that is nothing. That is just adorable, which is fine. That's fierce. You're not a kitty. You're a lioness. All
Why,
right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well,
Now-
technically my zodiac is the tiger, but good enough.
Oh, well, I was about right. All right. Now then, what is your question?
So, you don't have to, but do you have a worst to best or best to worst list of versions of religion?
Oh, that's gotta be an exhaustive list. Let's see.
Clearly, Christianity is the best.
Obviously, yes. Protestant Christianity to be specific. If
I don't know about that one.
If I want to narrow it down, if I want to narrow it down even more, I would go Calvinist. But that's going to be too much of a compliment.
I'm just curious that if there's a religion that you are scraping the bottom of the very barrel of how horrible it is. I'm really curious about your opinion on that.
Most of these would be like stuff that I kind of hear straight off the bottom of the barrel. Like most of these would be like some new age kind of stuff that comes out from like these like people that claim to make their own religions. And those are the people that I would say fit it because they just are the because recently the ones I've seen are the silliest I've ever heard. Like, for example, there's this one guy who claims he's trying to teach, quote, the way. That's his religion, is the way. His name was Brad Hulk is Big, and he was a chosen prophet from God sent to correct us, and that his teaching is being relayed through God through the power of sound waves. And
what?
So that he's the only one who can interpret the sound waves that God is delivering to him so that he can distinguish when a regular sound wave and the sound wave that reveals a message. And he's been it was interesting. I actually had a conversation with him one time on Hangouts, and whenever we were like laughing and saying that that's not right, it's like, you're not listening. You're not listening. Like he was trying to say, shh, calm down, kind of thing. We're like, no, we're trying to figure out where's our popcorn for this entertainment. But and then there was he was originally called the Armored Christian. I'm sure some people are familiar with this guy. If they were familiar with that a while back, he claimed that the world was coming to an end. He even put a date and kept posting video updates about it. And yeah, it didn't come. And so, because he even claimed that whenever it happened and we're all taken, because he was even a universalist, so he claimed that like we'd all be sent to heaven, and then he claimed that when we get there, we'll be training and fighting like Dragon Ball Z, like King Kai kind of style there. This guy was a huge Dragon Ball addict, and he claimed that he was God's chosen prophet. But when they failed, he shut up about it and deleted all the videos he ever made about that.
Of course he did.
And his excuse, why? Because it was the appropriate atonement sacrifice that he needed to offer on the altar before God is his videos, which again is just him talking craziness. But recently now he's called himself the righteous judge, and
oh no.
And he claims now that Christianity has been in the wrong. He is really God's chosen prophet. And I believe there was actually one video where it was
so he's one of these guys again.
Yeah, like
End times Loon?
Kind of. Like I'm trying to remember what was the one video that he did because it was a while back, and then he comments on a video claiming that my videos exposing him and his behavior was just ridiculous, and he basically claimed that he's the son of God, that he is the.
Now this is going into heresy.
So he went into the Mary Baker Eddy route.
Yeah, and recently and I'm going to respond to these in a podcast. Is that the recent Oh, no, no, never mind. It's still there. So he has the think about your God. Christianity is trashed and is hell real Christian. That's his main objection. Is like, God wouldn't create a place called hell because God. You know what? I'm just gonna read a comment from his thing. Like, after he said the Bible creates false converts, primarily because he believes God is evil. He then went on this rant, where he says this. I think I might as well admit this. I used to believe like you did, like many other Christians. I got signs from God telling me not to show alms with people, and I actually just bowed to his will. That was when I also believed in hell, so of course I feared retaliation from the creator of the multiverse. But I was a fool. A God who created is not a God who creates, and I think you're referring to hell, is not a God who destroys. So a God who creates is not a God who destroys. However, the people with limited intellect and the capacity for stupidity shows no bounds. You can't even explain to me how it's not evil of God to put you in hell simply because you don't believe. And it says, want to know why you won't explain that because it refutes the heck out of me. My prediction is that this conversation would be a dead end conversation, and God told me that. And why exactly would you change? You love the evil God you praise. Both is not objective; it is circular. Can't have both to have a final destination. Perfection is because you cannot be two places at once. The very fact that you believe in a God like that is pretty mind-boggling.
RCA, I'm sorry, I have to butt in here. When he's saying these kind of things, it kind of reminds me of the prison system. If you break the laws, you're going to jail.
Yep.
And here's the thing. If you agree with the rule of law, well, you're a normal person and you're a law-abiding citizen. And if you break the laws, well, you're a criminal and you're going to go to jail. Yeah, It sucks when you're in jail, but that's the penalty. That's exactly how it is.
And I explained that to him, and he just thinks that's. But then again, this is a guy that personally I don't take too seriously because he does technically have mental issues. This is a guy who thinks that a girl named Maria that he's been talking about for years now loves him, even though she's engaged to some other guy, and he keeps claiming she looks like she says no, but reality she says yes. So he's
that is creepy.
And one of the recent videos is called "Hands for Maria," where he's like, "Hey guys, look at this," and he's trying to show us a zoom up of his palm, and says, "There's a picture of Maria on my hand. This is God showing me something that
what the heck."
And he's actually done this.
It's like, dude, let it go.
But funny thing, he did this once when he told me because he one time kept claiming I was an atheist, pretended to be a Christian, and his evidence.
Bye guys. I'll talk to you guys later. It was, I'll be in my server, RCA, but it was night. By the way, congratulations for your 100th episode. And
thanks, man.
I need that link.
Don't worry, I'll be in touch with you.
I need that link.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in the because I know you guys can see the outer chat on the app, so I sent it to you on there, so that way if y'all want to join up with that. But yeah, like with. One time he kept saying I was an atheist, pretending to be a Christian because God told him. And he did a video where he was in his basement, and I kid you not, this was literally like he was, I guess, in his mom's basement, and he looks around and says, "I'm going to prove to you something. God knows that RC apologist is not a Christian." And he closes his eyes, and is like, "Okay, God, is RC apologist an atheist?" And he points somewhere random at a wall, and he walks over. He's like, "You see, guys, it's a smiley face. If ever I put my finger lands on a smiley face in the wall that looks like a smiley face, that means yes."
Who did that?
This guy
it could mean that he's laughing at him. I mean, it could mean anything.
Right?
I mean, it could be anything.
It could be anything. Yeah, it was.
Who did this?
It's some guy that now goes by the name of Righteous Judge, but he was originally known as the Armored Christian. He is a self-proclaimed prophet of God and also now self-proclaimed son of God, that he is the Son of God.